Guys, I'm actually so excited about this video. Something completely different for you all, and I thought I'd just chuck it in there as a little bit of a random upload. So as you can see, we are fresh faced, no makeup on whatsoever. I thought it'd be a really fun idea to do a full face of makeup using Poundland products only. I've had these products here for quite a while because I had the thought ages ago, and I'm only now just getting down to filming it. But at least we're sat here, at least we're gonna film it. I tried to get a full face. I mean, I went into 3 different Poundlands and accumulated these products. The only thing I didn't manage to get was a lip liner and a primer. But everything else, I believe I managed to get. So if you're interested in seeing whether Poundland makeup is a hit or a miss, then please carry on watching. Right, so as I said, we didn't have a primer, so I've just put on my normal moisturizer. I would have liked to have put on a primer just so I could fully give the foundation a chance, but there wasn't one. I think they do one, so if you're in Poundland looking for some makeup, maybe check out their primers too, but we're just gonna do without. So I picked up 2 different foundations. There was one which was a matte formula, and there was also one which was more of a glowy formula. So this is the matte one here. It's called Matte Me Over, and I got mine in the shade 6 Olive. It says it's a long-lasting foundation with a natural matte finish, enriched with vitamins to nurture your skin whilst maintaining a flawless coverage, lightweight base, which I like the sound of because I don't like anything too cakey or too full on. And then alternatively, the one that I would tend to reach and lean towards would be more of a glowy foundation because I just prefer a glowy look over matte. But this is the Keep On Glowing foundation, and I also got this in the shade 6 Olive, and this also said it is a light coverage. I don't really know what to do. I don't know whether to do one side of the face with the glowy one and then one side of the face with the matte one, just so you can see the difference. I'll probably do that. I'm sure it'll all look pretty similar when we apply all the other products, but just to give you a review of them both, we're going to do one side matte and one side glowy. So I always like to shake my foundations. I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds pretty watery. I would have assumed the watery one would have been the glowy one, but that literally sounds like just pure H2O. So, we shall see. So that's that one mixed up, and then this one has no liquid to it. So I don't know whether it's the tube, but anyway, that's first impressions. It's a bit frightening. It's a bit scary. I'm gonna try and come in. Maybe I can try and zoom you. Amateur YouTuber. Let's start off with the glowy, because I hope and pray that we're on to a winner. So this is what it looks like. Oh. This is the consistency of the glowy one. So it's not liquidy at all, it's staying to my hand, and I think the colour looks pretty good. Swipe this on my face. Obviously when I get foundation, I always tend to go with a darker colour because to match my fake tan, but this is what it's looking like so far. It doesn't really have a smell to it, so we'll see, but that's the colour. I'm just gonna dab this into the skin. Okay. Do you know what? It's definitely light coverage. I think the colour's okay. It obviously looks crazy dark compared to my natural skin colour, but to match my fake tan. Now with foundations like this, it could look great at the start, but over time throughout the day it can do this thing called oxidize, which basically means the color can change. I don't know how it works, or I don't know whether it's to do with the drying process or to do with your skin type. I don't know what the situation is, but this could potentially oxidize into like a darker color and then it might look not so great. But first impressions, I think it looks pretty nice, pretty glowy. Definitely light coverage because you can still see the shine from my moisturiser underneath. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm just going to apply it a little bit more just so we can see if it is buildable. First impressions. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. I think it's a really good colour. You can still see the shine of my skin underneath, and I think it does definitely even out my skin tone. It matches with my false tan perfectly, so if you tan like me, then the colour is pretty spot on. Compared to this side, I probably could have done with a shade lighter, but I always feel like that, and then when I put on my concealer, it kind of all blends together and the look doesn't look so, some would say orange. Well, I would say orange because that does look orange, but it's the way I like my makeup to look. Obviously just go shades lighter if you don't like the orange look. So that's that side. I'm just gonna let that sink into the skin, and then we're gonna move on to the basically water to my face. Let's see if this goes all over my carpet. I'm pretty scared. Okay, as you can see, it's very, very, very liquidy. As you can see, it's running down my hand, and this one does seem a little bit lighter. See, I can see this oxidizing already. Like, it's getting darker. Anyway, I feel like a shade lighter would have been better, but let's try this one. So this one, as you can see, is definitely lighter than this one, even though they say they're the same shade, 6 Olive. So I think I'm going to prefer, oh my god, yeah, that looks so dark. I think I'm going to prefer the colour of this one. I'm not seeing much matteness. I don't know whether it's going to dry matte, and I'm finding with this one you need a little bit more. Maybe that's why it's so liquidy. The colour is definitely better on this side. I'm going to look so odd, aren't I? Oh my god, that's too dark. I couldn't. This is much better shade. Yeah, really, again, liking this one so far. I definitely think it's got a bit more coverage, but like I was saying, you do need a little bit more. This colour is definitely better. Surprisingly, I'm preferring this side more. I think it's because this side is just gone so dark. So when you compare the two sides, obviously this side is much too dark for me, but you can see the glossiness and the glowiness underneath, which I quite like. This side, I still feel like you can see some sort of shine. I feel like it's given my skin a really nice light complexion. I feel like it is definitely buildable, and it doesn't feel too sticky or like too full coverage on my face. Do you know what? I actually really like this foundation. First impression, definitely prefer this one over this one. I'm gonna see if I can lighten this one up just by what I have left on the brush, to see if we can make both sides a little bit more seamless. Honestly now, I know the shades are probably a little bit off, but it's really hard to know because on the outside it can look totally different to what it comes out like. Yeah, it's just really tricky. So I'm really impressed with both of those, to be honest. This side I really like because I like the glossiness, and I like that it still kind of shows your skin underneath it. And this side I just feel like it's a better formula. It blended a little bit more easy. It's giving me a little bit more coverage, and I'm still a little bit shiny, which I really like. Yeah, you can't really tell the difference between glossy and matte, but I definitely prefer the way this one applied. Next, I am going to do brows. There wasn't an eyebrow pencil. There was one, but it was black, and I just thought that's going to be too dark. So they do different shades of the eyebrow pencil, and I've had it before and I actually really rate it. So definitely, if you see the eyebrow pencil, pick that up. But I managed to get the Slay the Brow eyebrow gel colored thing, I don't know what you call it. It's in the shade Brunette, which is number 2, and it's the Slay the Brow brow gel, and it basically defines and sculpts your natural brows with this fast drying lightweight gel, perfect for sculpting your dream brow for semi-permanent wear. Let's give this a whirl. So we're up nice and close and personal. You can kind of see the skin here a little bit better actually. Maybe I should just zoom in. Yeah, it is a bit dark now looking at it in the camera, but we tried. So let's give this a whirl. Does anybody else always smell things? Okay, okay. Okay. Do you know what I like about this? It's not super wet, and sometimes I find with brow gels, when they're super wet or they've got loads of product on, the kind of colour gets up like where you don't want it. But you can be really precise with this. I do find I'm having to go back into the tube to pick up more of the product, but if you look at the comparison of those two, it's definitely defined them a bit. It's definitely made them a bit fuller, hasn't it? And yeah, I'm intrigued to see at the end when we've done our makeup to see whether you can feel the brows and they've, you know, they feel stuck down, or whether it's mainly just the colour payoff that it gives. Does it actually like stick your brows down? So yeah, first impressions of that, pretty good. It's giving my eyebrows definitely a bit of definition and colour. I do have one eyebrow bigger than the other. I don't know if you can see, this one's a bit bigger, but when the whole makeup looks done, you don't really notice it. But yeah, that's a close-up of how they're looking. And now to conceal and contour, I have got these two babies, Hide and Chic, like concealers basically. I got one, this lighter one in the shade Swan, which is number 1, and then I got the darker one to cream contour in the shade 5 Almond. And it says they conceal, contour, cover. They're the multi-use concealer with medium coverage enriched with vitamin E. This is how the applicator looks. I'm hoping this concealer now is going to brighten up, because I feel like I'm just getting darker and darker. It's very white. There wasn't a shade below, which I would have probably gone for, but I think it might be a blessing in disguise, because I feel like we could do with adding a little bit of lightness to the skin. So let's come in close. This is how it's applied. It's very lightweight, doesn't really have much of a smell to it. It's definitely brightening the under eye. First impressions are good. Just dabbing this into the skin. First impressions, I wouldn't say it's given me loads of coverage, which I am not mad about, because sometimes I feel like concealers can just really give you too much cakiness under the eye. You can definitely still see my like puffiness and my dark circles, but I don't mind. I mainly wanted this concealer to brighten the whole look, which I definitely feel like it has done. It's definitely brightened the under eye. I don't feel like it's a good enough concealer to maybe cover blemishes or dark circles or redness, but I do feel like it's a good colour payoff to brighten the face, because I look a lot more brighter underneath my eye. And that's all I'm gonna do with concealer. I don't want to put too much on, because I just wanted it for the brightness. But yeah, again, it's not the best, it's not the worst. It's still glowy, it's still blended, it didn't go cakey, it didn't separate the foundation underneath, so I can't complain. I really can't complain. And now to trial the same concealer but in a darker shade for a cream bronzer. I'm gonna pop this on my hand first. We'll give this a go. I'm again just gonna blend it in with the beauty sponge. Nice colour. I'm not really sure where that went. Where did the product go? Can you see it? Did it do anything? I mean, I don't even really know if anything just happened. Did I just put the product on? Did that work? Let's see if we add a little bit more, whether it works. Oh, okay. What have I done? Oh no. Oh no, oh no, I've applied too much. Let's just ignore that side and try this side. Okay, it was working. It was, and now I've just ruined it. Okay, so Definitely adding something. Oh my god, is this gonna work? Is this gonna be a fail? I don't really know. Maybe I'll just stop. I'm gonna try and figure this out. I'm not really sure. That is my feedback. I'm not really sure on the cream bronzer. I believe, when I'm editing this I could be wrong, but I believe the concealer worked and brightened the face up a little bit, but the bronzer, I'm not really sure what happened there. You can be the judge of that. Anyway, next up we are going to set the under eye. This is the Smoothly Does It press powder, and this one is in the shade Translucent, and I am basically going to put this under my eyes like I would any other powder. I'm going to be using a little triangle powder puff, and we are going to see if this gives us a super soft matte powder for a shine-free finish. We're going to pop it on. It's quite pigmented, so I'm just popping it on to the puff, and we're going to pat under. I feel like the lighting is oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Wow, maybe I didn't need as much, because I can feel that on my face, which I'm not too much of a fan of. I like a powder where it doesn't really feel, like I can't really feel it on my face. It's definitely very pigmented, as you can see here, even it's going onto my nose, but it's definitely giving me some sort of coverage under there. I'm hoping if I take a fluffy brush now, I can like buff off that excess, because I feel like I might have put a bit too much on. Let's hope this kind of buffs. Oh, there we go, that's a bit better. Oh yeah, that's better. I think when you look at it like this, it looks brighter, and like it looks good and soft and seamless, and kind of like it's, I guess, right in the under eye and smoothed it out. But when you then take the product off, I feel like you're kind of taking the product, I don't know, it's definitely mattified the under eye. I don't know whether it's added any more coverage or whether it's just made my like under eyes look more wrinkly, but for £1, I guess it's done the job. I'm just going to use it as an eyeshadow kind of like base too. This is what the base is looking like so far. What do we think? Be nice. Again, this is just testing out. I've got the shades wrong, but at least we can kind of see how the products are working, you know? Oops, I do look great when I look at the camera. But would it be a video from myself without it going wrong? I was gonna say let's bronze the skin up and add some bronzer, but I really don't feel like we need to add any more to the face. Like, we don't need to warm the skin up. I did get the same powder, but in the matte bronzer, matte medium 2. And for the purpose of the video, I will apply a tiny little, cheeky little bit to my cheek so we can see what we think, but I really don't need it. Not bad. Now, I was going to use that as a transition shade for my eyeshadow, but I did buy this little eyeshadow quad, and it's called All About the, what does it say? All About the Shadow, and it's an eyeshadow quad, and this one is in the shade Rose Gold. Now, to be completely transparent and honest with you, I do not have high hopes for this. I've tried cheaper eyeshadows in the past, and I just find the formula, the pigmentation, the colour payoff is never normally that great. And eyeshadow is one of the products that I don't mind spending a little bit more on, because you do get better results. But I could be completely shocked, and I could fall to the ground and say, do you know what, I take everything back that I said. We'll try it. So I am going to swatch them on my fingers, and we can see they're very chalky. I feel like you'll know what I mean when I say that. It's the colour payoff, which is just really not the best. But again, if you're starting off with makeup, the colour is there, but it's just not as there as I'd want it. You're gonna go right into my eyes, Can you see my eye? I've got the thing here, quad here. I'm gonna use this shade because I feel like if we want any kind of color payoff, we're gonna have to use something pretty dark. Using it on a fluffy brush. And okay, there is something there. There is definitely something there. And I'm just going to windscreen wiper it. I'm at the car wash, whoa, 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 at the car wash, yeah. Okay. I mean, it's really hard for me to close one eye and try and keep the other open to see. It's definitely there, isn't it? I'm just going to put a little bit in the corner and then blend. Now whether it's going to like blend and be seamless like other eyeshadows I've used would be is another story, but you can definitely see the colour if you look and compare. Maybe I'm going to take back what I'm saying. Let's try and like blend this corner out so it doesn't look... Yeah, see, this is where it kind of sticks. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like sticking. Can you see that there? So I'm going to try and just keep blending just to see whether we can like make that a little bit more seamless and blended. My other eyeshadows would probably have blended this a little bit better, but it's not awful. It's just kind of sticks to the places. So I'm just going to do the same with this eye. I'm going to try and apply it less first and see whether that will help the blending process. Just going to take this gold shimmer shade. Okay. Okay. It's definitely subtle. Okay. Definitely apply with a finger. Do you know what? I'm only going to apply it to the middle of the eye. I think it's called like a spotlight eye. I don't know. I mean, I'm no makeup artist. I just like to play with makeup. But I'm just going to literally do that. You can definitely see it. Okay, yeah. I take it back. They're not the best, of course, but they work. And do you know, sometimes that is all we need. We just need something that works. That is stunning. If that isn't the easiest, most simple eye look you could do, I don't know what is. This shade here, and I'm just gonna pop it in the inner corner of your eye, just here. It's a little bit chalky, but I mean, it's definitely there. We're gonna leave eyes for a minute, but it's definitely giving me something which I'm really chuffed about. I'm gonna add a little bit of blush. I forgot to do this. So this is the Feeling Blush Duo Blusher. This one is in the shade Matte 1 and it's got two really nice shades. I think I'm probably gonna go for the darker one because I love a really pink cheek and I feel like it might just make the look come together. And I don't know how pigmented this is going to be, so we're going to give it a go. It looks pretty pigmented on the brush, so I might need to be careful. Okay. It's kind of... oh no. It's kind of gone on and stuck. I don't know if that's going to blend. Oh no, can you see... do you see what I mean? Kind of almost like stuck to like my looks like it's like stuck to dry areas. Oh dear, this might be a fail of a product. Yeah, the lighting is doing my head in. Sunshine, lollipops, and oh no, that looks bad. That don't look good. I feel like the sun is trying to help the look, but can you see where it's kind of like stuck there? That side's a little bit better, but I don't recommend this blush. Let me try. And I feel like if I'm too vigorous with this, then it's going to move what we've done underneath, which might be a good idea. No to the blush, but it's on our face now, so what can we do? Moving on, quickly. I do this in a weird order, and I always have and I always will. Don't ever change. What's normal might not be normal for you, and that is fine. So like I said, I couldn't get a lip liner. Instead-o, I got, somebody's at the door. Oh, can we buy you in Poundland? If we could buy you in Poundland, I would have no space in the house because my house would be full of dogs. Dog hair in my mouth. Get Lippy moisturising lipstick with vitamin E in the shade Courageous. Then we've got the Just Like Matte liquid lipstick in the shade Mulberry Pie. And then we've got the Waggy Tail of Amigo Warfield. And then lastly, we've got the Plump Up the Volume Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Pink Dust. So my idea when I was in Poundland was to use the liquid matte thing kind of as a line, as a like a outline per se. Then I was going to put on the lipstick, and then I was going to put on the gloss. So can anyone else do that? Right, stop being an idiot. Oh, would they please just go away? It kind of feels like acrylic paint. Oh no, what have I done? Maybe this wasn't the smartest idea. I don't actually, I'm going to sort that out in a minute, but I don't actually mind the colour. I feel like it looked scarier on my hand. Okay, at this point I might as well just fill it all in. My skin actually looks pretty, like, obviously ignore this, but I don't actually mind it. Anyway, I'm going to just do the whole lip. And then, this is meant to dry matte. Please ignore this, I'm going to sort that out. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. We're going to pop on the lipstick on top. And that's not really done anything. So that was pretty pointless. But then we're just going to hope and pray that the lip gloss saves the day. Yeah, I think they're good. It smells nice. That is pretty okay to me. And then the last step of this Poundland review makeup look is mascara. So I have got the Turn the Volume Up and Define Makeup Gallery mascara in the shade Ultra Black, and let's see how we get on with this. I like the brush. It's very natural. It's not giving too much, which sometimes I don't mind, because I feel like when a mascara is too wet it can really be a pain to work with. But it's definitely not one of my faves. I feel like you'd have to be there for quite a while if you wanted really dark thick eyelashes, because it's not giving too much. But it's definitely doing what a mascara does by lengthening and coating your lashes. I just feel like it's not one of the best, but it's doing what a mascara should do. So I'm not going to tell you off, because you're doing what you should do. You could just be a little bit better, but so can we all. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here for hours trying to get the look that I want to get with the lashes, but I'm just going to coat them so that I don't look unfinished, shall we say. And then, do you know what, I'm just going to put a little bit on the unders. I think I'm going to like literally that be it now. And there we have the finished full face of Poundland makeup. I think it is a hit. I think I could have made the foundation shade choices a little bit better. I could have maybe worked with the blusher a little bit better. But everything else, the eyes have just really, really blown me away. Like, that palette is actually pretty decent. The concealer and the powder, I'd get. The lip combo, perfect. My eyebrows are definitely stuck down. They feel like sticky and crusty, which is what I like. And yeah, it's all just about how this is going to wear throughout the day. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit weird. I know you got to see my little bit of my personality a little bit more when I'm just sat here chatting to you with no distractions, apart from a furry four-legged friend and a couple of delivery men. Shout out to all the delivery men and women out there. You are amazing. And shout out to Poundland. I mean, you've created some good products here, and for an affordable face of makeup, I think we've done a good job. Let me know if you want to see any more videos like this. They're completely random, they're completely crazy, completely unedited, unfiltered. This is me sat in my bedroom with a load of makeup and we're just having a little bit of a play. Let me know if you want me to do any other specific brands of makeup, styles of makeup, anything like that. I love suggestions. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you crazy, lovely, amazing lot in my next video, and who knows what that video is going to be.